He could hardly believe his eyes. His daughter's boyfriend was this wealthy. The luxurious mansion at the gate wasn't even their home, just the guard station. The yard was so absurdly huge that it could easily house animals. What shocked him even more was that it took 30 minutes by car just to get from the gate to the main building. But when they finally arrived, the person greeting them wasn't the polite young gentleman he had imagined. It was a shirtless man throwing around curse words.
Flemings are in the house! Yes! This is awesome! Family, baby!
Ned's face immediately darkened, and what bothered him even more was the way his future son-in-law greeted them. Ned quickly pulled his wife aside and whispered, "Let's stay for 30 minutes out of politeness, then leave." But the young man seemed genuinely happy to see them, even tattooing the family's Christmas welcome card complete with their family portrait on his back to show his sincerity. His fiancée's mother kindly pointed out that the tattoo artist had accidentally included the words Merry Christmas as part of the image.
Out of here.
Okay.
It says Happy Holidays? Barb, God damn. I gave the guy the Christmas card. I didn't know he put Happy Holidays on there.
Wow.
Ned frowned deeply, wondering why his brilliant daughter would choose someone like this, but unaware of how awkward the meeting had become. Laird cheerfully introduced his second surprise. Knowing his future father-in-law loved bowling, he had built 2 lanes right inside the house, complete with custom-designed posters. He had also decorated every corner with artistic photography pieces to honor his fiancée's mother, who taught photography. Any goodwill Ned had just begun to feel vanished again within moments, as Laird's careless words shattered it.
I gotta tell you, Ned, great art really gets me aroused. It's actually a very strong aphrodisiac.
Laird.
Not that you need any help getting turned on by that gorgeous woman.
Honey.
What? Your mom is beautiful. She deserves some props for that.
Well, I'll take a compliment wherever I can get one.
Well, here's another one. You got a banging bod, too.
Ned, a deeply traditional man, pulled his daughter aside for a private talk. He tried to persuade her to leave this man, convinced that someone like Laird, reckless and unpredictable, could never give her real
I
happiness.
wouldn't have asked you to come out here and miss Christmas in Michigan for the first time ever if he wasn't really important to me.
Despite his disapproval, for his daughter's sake, Ned swallowed his pride and decided to stay through Christmas. That evening, Laird prepared a lavish dinner. Seeing his daughter so blissfully happy, a sincere smile finally appeared on Ned's face. He asked Laird about his business and how he met his daughter. Laird was honest, admitting he had only finished high school, but his obsession with coding had led him to start a gaming company. At a party, he had pretended to be poor, just to meet someone who wouldn't care about his wealth, and that's how he met Stephanie. They clicked instantly and moved in together after their 3rd date.
Wait a minute.
Wedding with someone?
You say you're living together?
Yeah.
No, we do not.
Okay, 5 nights out of 7.
Ned's worldview was once again completely shaken. That night, he couldn't calm himself down, struggling to accept that his daughter was living with a man before marriage, especially one who constantly spoke with foul language. As he sat fuming, a dripping wet Laird knocked on the door. He explained that he and Stephanie had just argued because she hated his habit of swearing in front of her parents, so he came to apologize in person. He said he had lost his parents young, and seeing them made him feel the warmth of family again. He truly saw them as his own parents.
I'm in love with your daughter, dudes, and I'm just so fucking psyched to get to know the people that raised her. Anyway, I hope you two have a nice rest.
Yeah, have a good night. Great night. Have a great night.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh.
Good night.
Peace.
His overly affectionate tone left the couple awkward and unsure how to respond. To make matters worse, Ned couldn't find toilet paper afterward. When he called for his wife, the housekeeper explained that this was a paper-free home, and he only needed to use the smart toilet's control panel. Ned pressed the button as instructed, and the next second,
Around in there.
the housekeeper had to come in to demonstrate. The 2 men stared at each other in silence, the air so still they could hear each other breathe. It was painfully awkward. After enduring that humiliating moment, the restless Laird took him to the zoo to feed the animals. Suddenly, without any warning, the housekeeper lunged straight at Laird. They wrestled violently on the grass until Laird was pinned down, begging for mercy. Watching from the side, Ned's eyelids twitched uncontrollably. he muttered. This looks like that scene from the Pink Panther, where Kato attacks the inspector to keep him sharp. But both men just looked at him blankly. Even as Ned tried to mimic the scene and explain, they still had no idea what the Pink Panther was. The housekeeper explained that Laird hated being followed by bodyguards, so they often practiced fighting together to prepare for possible kidnappings. When the two men started talking about combat techniques, Ned stood there, completely lost. The three of them stood together, divided by an invisible generational gap.
Classic Pink Panther.
Then things got even stranger. Laird led him into the zoo's office and immediately called him Dad. He said he wanted to propose on Christmas and hoped for Ned's blessing.
Come on.
Don't call me Dad.
Don't call you Dad.
I'm not your dad.
Well, I mean, you're gonna be my dad.
No.
What, Dad?
Eventually, they made a gentleman's agreement Laird wouldn't propose without Ned's consent, but he asked him to keep it secret to surprise Stephanie. Despite agreeing, Laird couldn't hide his frustration. Later, he vented to his housekeeper, saying he didn't understand why. After calling him Dad, he still couldn't earn his approval. The housekeeper sighed, saying he needed to do something truly special to prove his sincerity, but Laird had no idea what Ned really wanted. Meanwhile, Ned was in crisis himself. He had poured his life into his traditional printing business, and now his assistant warned him it was on the verge of bankruptcy. Unbeknownst to him, their entire conversation was recorded by the smart home system. As Ned pored over financial data, his young son walked in. He had just seen the guest list for Laird's Christmas party. It read like a Silicon Valley who's who, even featuring Tyson and Modale. Excited, the boy looked up to his father in awe, but Ned put a hand on his shoulder and said earnestly, "These tech companies are castles in the air. The whole industry is a fantasy."
You know, I'm gonna drop some knowledge on you. Times are changing, Pops, and not everything you think is hooey is hooey.
Ned dismissed Laird's world with contempt, watching his wife laugh and chat happily with the young man. He felt like Laird was an octopus wrapping its tentacles around his family. But soon, his opinion would begin to change. At the Christmas Eve party, while ordering a drink, Ned unexpectedly came face to face with the richest man in the world.
Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Tesla Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Wow.
How do you know Laird?
Well, he's dating my daughter.
He never imagined someone of that status would attend such a gathering. For the first time, Ned truly confronted the reality of this new era and began to see this troublesome kid in a different light. He pulled his daughter aside and asked her seriously why she fell in love with Laird, fearing deep down that she might be blinded by wealth.
He kind of reminds me of you.
What?
But I swear his heart is always in the right place. He's a very good guy. Just try to be cordial.
I will. I'll try. Okay? I'll try.
Try to what?
I'll try to just understand that person better.
The following evening was Christmas Eve. The two men went out together to pick a Christmas tree. It was a simple activity, but to Laird, it meant the world. It was his first time ever experiencing something like this. Having grown up without a father's love, he shed his usual loud, carefree attitude and showed a rare, genuine seriousness. He told Ned that times were always changing, and that his industry faced brutal competition. Every company went through ups and downs, but if you could endure it, there would always be new opportunities ahead. Ned was deeply moved, and with the calm assurance of an older man, he encouraged Laird, saying, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger." He didn't realize that, in that moment, Laird was actually comforting him as well. As they turned to leave, Laird's eyes caught a glimpse of the perfect Christmas tree, the exact one he had imagined, but it was already standing outside the gate of a rival company. He didn't think much of it. He grabbed a chainsaw from the shop owner, determined to cut it down and bring it home. But after fumbling for a while, he couldn't get it to start. Ned shook his head, walked over, and with a simple flick of his wrist, the engine roared to life. Laird's eyes lit up like stars. His mouth opened wide in awe and admiration, and for a brief moment, he saw in Ned the father figure he had always longed for. Ned himself didn't realize that in that instant. His natural reaction carried a warmth that had already softened his earlier prejudice. It was the simple guidance of an elder to a younger man. With the Christmas tree tied to the roof and upbeat music blasting in the car, the tension between them began to ease. Ned brought up the promise they had made in the tent, telling Laird that although he and Stephanie truly loved each other, now wasn't the right time to propose, since she was about to graduate and her final year was crucial, but Laird revealed that Stephanie planned to take a break from school to run the foundation he had created for her. Ned's face instantly darkened.
Everybody upstairs right now, family meeting!
What angered him even more was that his wife and son had known about it all along. He was the only one left in the dark. His daughter tried to explain, saying, "The foundation helps women, focusing on women's health and improving conditions in developing countries. It's something truly meaningful."
Right.
Third
And
world.
when
All right.
that all goes belly up, you know what you're left with?
What?
Being a college dropout. That's it.
You don't get it.
Oh, I don't get it.
No, you just don't get it at all.
What is that?
It's a tattoo.
With his name, you got a tattoo? You've marked your body with his name on it. Look at that, Barb.
Oh.
You have such a big problem with Laird.
Great question. You know why?
Why?
Because of his influence, you drop out of college. Because of his influence, you get a tooth.
Determined to expose Laird's lies, Ned secretly contacted the only IT-savvy employee at his factory, planning to hack into Laird's computer for evidence. Just then, he heard footsteps approaching, the voices of his daughter and Laird. He quickly hid under the desk. He overheard his daughter scolding Laird for leaking the news about her leaving school. Ned couldn't help but smirk, thinking this argument might finally make her see Laird's true colors and end things for good. But reality hit him hard. Laird's apology came fast and sincere, and soon their argument softened into whispers, then kisses right on the desk. Ned covered his ears in agony, his toes curling with embarrassment so deep it could dig a hole through the floor. To make things worse, Laird's computer security system triggered an alarm, locking all devices and cutting the power to the entire house. Still, Ned noticed a few open messages left on a nearby tablet. As he read them, a chill ran down his spine. He rushed to show his daughter what he'd found. Laird wasn't nearly as wealthy as he claimed. In fact, he was over $4 million in debt, and the foundation he created for Stephanie was nothing more than a sham.
A very big misunderstanding. These are only Laird's business holdings.
Yep.
On the personal side.
Look, how much money do you have?
Babe, you don't have to answer this.
Yes, he does.
Fine. Full disclosure. Down to my last 97 million.
Laird.
197 million.
The whole family was stunned. Trying to win Ned's approval, Laird presented a Christmas gift. He had secretly paid off Ned's $370,000 debt, which also made him the largest shareholder of the printing company. Laird believed he had done something truly good for Ned, but the next moment, the two men ended up fighting. In Ned's eyes, this octopus had not only wrapped its tentacles around his family, but now controlled his career and his life through money, crushing the last bit of dignity he had left. His sense of traditional manhood collapsed in an instant. The result of their fight was no surprise. Every Bruce screamed of his defeat. That night on Christmas Eve, the whole family packed their bags in silence, the air heavy with humiliation. His daughter Stephanie looked at him with eyes cold as ice. There was no anger in them, but the disappointment cut far deeper than words ever could. Then, a call came from the factory's last business partner, politely but distantly ending their cooperation. In that brief reply hid a loneliness Ned had never felt before, like a traveler abandoned by time, leaving the stage in quiet despair. But when he got home, he was stunned by what he saw. Every one of his employees was waiting in the living room, holding gifts and shouting warmly, "Welcome home, boss." It turned out that Laird had saved the factory, keeping everyone from losing their jobs. They called Ned a hero and pooled their money to buy him a tablet computer. When he turned it on, a comic drawing filled the screen. The workers explained that Laird had posted it online, and they had turned it into his screensaver. Ned stared at the cartoon version of himself, crooked, clumsy, and a little silly, and his throat tightened. He finally understood that while the world might be changing, the kindness hidden beneath those changes was still the same, still warm, still real. Just then, the sound of rotor blades thundered through the air. Laird had flown in by helicopter, determined to spend Christmas with them. Stephanie had her eyes covered. Laird had planned another surprise for her, but the surprise turned into shock. Stephanie felt like she had become a prize being tossed between two men who thought they knew what was best for her. Furious, she stormed back home, deeply disappointed in both of them.
Happy holidays, Ned.
You too, Laird. Laird?
You're doing a I'm gonna walk away slowly because I really don't want to leave walk. Come here. So what happened? You didn't propose?
How could I? I never got your permission, and we pinky swore I wouldn't ask without it.
Laird, you never needed my permission to ask Stephanie to marry you. But if it still means anything to you, you have my blessing.
In that moment, Ned's blessing carried a quiet truth that was an acknowledgement that children eventually grow up. A proud kind of letting go. Ned finally realized that even if he couldn't always be part of his daughter's future, there was someone who would cherish and protect her just as much as he did. He went home and apologized to his daughter, admitting that ever since entering Laird's world, he had failed to recognize the woman she had become and that blindness had led to his mistakes. Ned drew back the curtain and saw Laird standing outside in the snow.
It'd be cool if you gave him a chance.
You want me to give Laird a chance?
I thought that if you saw fit to give him a chance, I thought that, it'd be cool.
It was the most tense moment between the two men. Laird slowly knelt, pulled out a ring, and proposed. But soon he returned indoors. Disappointed Stephanie had turned him down, though he no longer cursed and had grown more mature. She wanted to finish college before taking that step. After dinner, Laird apologized to Ned, saying his workers were exhausted and perhaps he had gone too far by getting involved. He also confessed he didn't understand why Ned refused his help. Ned explained that times had changed, the old ways were bound to fade, and he already had a new idea, more precisely, his younger son's idea, to lead their 37 workers in rebuilding the factory to produce the same smart toilets that Laird had imported from abroad.
Hells yes, Grateful Ned!
He had once fought against change with stubbornness and judged his daughter's choices with prejudice, but the values he had passed down, groundedness, clarity, and perseverance, had become the very foundation of her independence and love. Stephanie's decision to stay in school and finish her degree was the natural growth of her father's beliefs within her. In Laird's modern ways lived true sincerity, and in Stephanie's persistence lived her father's legacy. Together, they taught Ned that while the world may change and methods may evolve, the essence of love and responsibility never does. In the end, prejudice dissolved through understanding, and differences found harmony in goodwill. Parents need not fear losing control, for the values they plant will one day become their children's strongest anchor. And children need not reject tradition, for within those seemingly rigid concerns lies the warmest kind of protection. Growth has never been a one-sided rebellion, but rather two generations learning to see each other through the clash, allowing love to stay true to its roots while embracing what's new.